Radiation, plague, and fires. This is coming out of Russia. Foreign embassies urgently evacuate. A hasty evacuation of diplomatic staff from foreign embassies, like a stampede, began in Moscow. Many embassies are trying to hide the evacuation for political reasons. Mass evacuation of the embassies of Canada and Poland was officially reported at night on August 7th. Western media, meanwhile, reported that the Canadian embassy in Moscow was closed. Dutch embassy is urgently evacuating its diplomatic staff from Russia. I also heard about Bolivia, too. A high level of air pollution as one of the consequences of forest fires has become an official ground for evacuating embassy staff and their family members. Now, this is because this toxic radioactive particles within all of the dust that's coming from those fires, because remember, everybody, we had a nuclear meltdown that put just a mass amount of radiation into all of the forests, the trees, the grasses, the dirt, and now that these fires are rushing through the Russian continent right now, that are especially in that area where all this radiation was disseminated from the meltdown in 1986. What's happening now is that all of that radiation that was in the wood, because it basically got into all the wood and the fibers, and now that these forests are going up in flames, this radiation is being disseminated into the air in little particles that are being breathed in. And they're saying that this is actually worse than the initial disaster of Chernobyl, which also means, in the biblical verbiage, wormwood. If you go back and you study Ukrainian language and you look at the original word, Chernobyl is actually the word wormwood. Now, if you look at the book of Revelations and you look at these end-time scenario cataclysmic events that are happening upon the earth in those latter days, the time of the birth pains that the Revelation speaks of, it talks about a star coming, a star by the name of wormwood that would be coming from the heavens as a great mountain on fire would go into the oceans and kill a third of the ocean. I think this has a relationship to BP. If you look at BP's logo, it actually looks like the flower of a wormwood. There is a flower that's called wormwood, and also has that very similar logo look of BP's logo. It also looks like a star. They say it's a sun. Now, a sun is a star. Look what's happening in the Gulf. It's all connecting, the time frame. Because I remember when this big Ukrainian meltdown of the Chernobyl nuclear reactor took place, a lot of people thought, well, this is the fulfillment of the prophecy of Revelation. Well, it was the beginning of the fulfillment of the prophecy of Revelation. This is the timing of its end of its fulfillment, correlating with all the other mass extinction of life in the oceans and the coming of this core exit in the oil in the Gulf, and this volcano that's coming up from the inner core of the Earth's crust that's actually polluting the waters. Look at all the dead fish. Look at my uploads for all today. This is August 11th. If you look at all those uploads, you'll see dead fish, dead animals that are taking place all over the oceans in different parts of the world. And now we have this wormwood back in the news, and the evacuation of Russia. What do you think? What do you make of all this?